name is Holly Lavoie, and I work with South Carolina INBRE. I'm the program coordinator and our director of our developmental research project program. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about a program we have for students that would like to do research with a faculty mentor called our Mentored Student Pilot Project, or MSP. The Mentored Student Pilot Project will be funded from September 2026 through August of 2027. There's some important dates if you would like to apply for this project. Our first important date is our letter of intent deadline. The letter of intent is just a descriptive title and 3 or 4 sentences about what your project entails. This lets us know that you might be submitting a full proposal and allows us to organize our reviewers. You will submit this through the SCINBRE.org website under the funding tab underneath the MSP funding description, where there will be a LOI link. However, before you submit a letter of intent, you need to find a mentor. This might be somebody you're already working with or someone you plan to do research with in the next academic year. The research mentor will help you develop your idea. The student will be responsible for submitting the letter of intent. The application deadline is Friday, April 3rd, 2026 by 5 p.m. and we will not be accepting any late applications. The submission of the full proposal should be done by the faculty mentor, as they need to obtain signatures from their institution before submission. We have up to 8 MSP awards available this year for students. 5 of these are available at South Carolina INBRE Network, primarily undergraduate institutions, and 3 of these are available at our core research universities, Clemson, USC Columbia, and MUSC. So who is eligible to submit a MSP application and receive an award? Undergraduate or graduate students at South Carolina INBRE affiliated institutions who do not receive direct support through COBRA. You must have a faculty mentor to help you develop the proposal, and they will be responsible for helping fill out the face page and completing the mentor collaboration form, as well as getting their institutional signatures. The topic must be biomedically relevant. We are funded through the National Institutes of Health, and they fund projects that are biomedically relevant, so you need to be able to make a persuasive case that your research project is addressing an important question in human health. Some of the focus areas are shown here, but we are open to a variety of topics as long as they have a biomedical basis. There are core facilities that are listed on the website that you can use to help you with your research. You'll need to obtain a letter of support from them to include with your application if you plan on using one of those core facilities. So you do not need an NIH Commons ID at the time of application, but you will need one if your proposal is funded, and your mentor can help you get this through your institution. One of your mentor responsibilities is to help you prepare the budget and the budget justification. The maximum amount of the award is $3,000, and that's in direct costs. There are no indirect costs, and this money must be spent in the calendar year, and there are no cost extensions. So on the website, you will find more details about all the elements of the application. I wanted to briefly go over some of the formatting, as this might be the first time you are submitting an application. So you want to use any forms that we supply on the SCINBRE.org website that are under the MSP announcement under the funding tab. Both the student and their mentor will each fill out a biographical sketch. Students will just fill out those areas that apply to them. Mentors should complete the NIH Bio Sketch as usual. This year, we're allowing our faculty to submit the NIH Common Form Bio Sketch if they wish to. So we expect the student to write the proposal under the guidance of the mentor to fill out the mentor collaboration form. The mentor is supposed to help the student compile their proposal into a single PDF, and the mentor is going to obtain the institutional signatures and then submit the full proposal through the SCINBRE.org website links. The project description that goes with the proposal is pretty brief. It can be up to 3 pages. Please be sure that your proposal has at least half-inch margins all around and that the font is no smaller than Arial 11 point. And you should have the following sections. First, you'll start with a background, and you want to write this proposal for someone who may not be an expert in your specific area. Our reviewers are very informed scientists, but they may not be an expert in your very specific area of research. So you want to be sure that you explain your research in fairly simple terms that an educated scientist could understand. You should have a research question or hypothesis. What are you trying to test? Your project goals and objectives are really what are you trying to do to test that hypothesis, to test whether it's right or wrong. You should discuss the project impact and significance to biomedical science and human health. You want to spend most of your time detailing the design and research plan of what you're planning to do experimentally and have a timeline. It's really helpful to have a small chart. You should also talk about your anticipated results. What are you expecting to find? We expect our students to present their work, so you need to have a plan of how the work will be disseminated to the scientific community. This can be through posters at your institution, outside your institution, at national meetings or local meetings. This might lead to a publication in a scientific journal. We would like you to present at the annual South Carolina INBRE Scientific Symposium after you've been funded. The best place to learn more about South Carolina INBRE and its opportunities and the Mentored Student Project application is at the scimbre.org website. On the South Carolina INBRE website, under the funding tab, there is the MSP tab, which you can click on and it will take you to the details of the Mentored Student Pilot Project and the links and application forms for links for letter of intent and the application forms as well as the application portal. Please be sure that you read all of the website for the MSP project as it contains important details that I did not cover in this presentation. A couple items that I would like to cover are the topic of human subjects and vertebrate animal studies. Human subjects research is not allowed on the MSP projects. However, you might have research that contains human samples or cells that NIH does not consider human subjects research. Please refer to the website for a worksheet with a flow chart that can walk you through those steps to determine if your research qualifies as human subjects research or not. Your IRB may need to determine that it doesn't qualify as human subjects research. If you use vertebrate animals in any of your work, your mentor will need to have an approved IACUC protocol before starting any award. We highly suggest that if the protocol is not already approved, we highly recommend that an animal protocol is submitted to your IACUC committee prior to or around the time you are submitting this MSP application. If recommended for funding, you will need that animal protocol to be approved and submit documentation of that approval by July 17, 2026, so that we can get your project further approved by NIH. So what happens to your application when you submit it? There's initial screening by our administrative core for South Carolina INBRE. We check to make sure that a letter of intent has been submitted on time. We're checking to make sure all the elements are there. If you submit your proposal a few days early, we can let you know if there's something missing. Proposals will go out to a panel of scientific experts. These individuals likely will not be experts in your very specific field. So make sure you write your applications for someone knowledgeable but who might be outside your very specific scientific niche. The reviewers will provide comments and scores, and these are sent back to scimbre, and they are compiled and sent to our external advisory committee, and they will do their own review and recommendations of who will be funded. Applicants will be notified of their recommendation for funding by our program director and principal investigator, Dr. Edie Goldsmith. Applications then must be approved by NIH before they release funding. If you have questions about submitting the proposal, especially the details of formatting and just general information, John Clarkson, our South Carolina INBRE business manager, can be very helpful, and here is his email address. If you have other questions or especially would like to know, does my topic fit the criteria, especially of biomedical research, I'd be happy to interact with you. Best way to contact me is through email shown here. I look forward to seeing your proposals.